Hi, welcome to the video. No one's in here yet. We're just saying that for the sake of the video.
You say that
So,
every time.
I know. Matt's here today. So this video was actually requested by one of my subscribers, and I am actually glad she requested this video because I don't think I've actually talked about this subject on my channel before. If you're just tuning in, this subject was requested by a subscriber of mine, and so I thought that I would address this topic. Having mental illness is a huge challenge, just in general, dealing with life in general, but it also creates burdens and challenges when it comes to parenting. And that's why I have my lovely husband here, because I cannot parent without him. Not only is he a caretaker to me, but he's also a caretaker to our children, and we co-parent together. We are what? Complementarianism.
Complementarian.
We're complementarians, and so we complement each other. We're what is it, more of an equal playing field. We just complement each other in our parenting styles, in the way our relationship is, and that carries down through to our children. So, you want to touch on anything?
No.
Keep going.
No, you keep
Oh,
going.
okay.
This is your thing. You're doing really well.
Okay, so the question was asked, how do I manage or cope with my mental illness while parenting my children? I was not doing a very good job parenting our kids. I myself would have outbursts and tantrums. I'm just going to call it that. I obsess and I fixate. I have OCPD, obsessive compulsive personality disorder, and that even affects me today in my parenting because some things I can't let go of. Thinking of others, God's joy, my friend Dave here. Hi, Dave.
Hello.
How's it going? How did you have a good weekend? So I had to definitely find a psychiatrist. I had to get on the right medications. It is key and it is important now that I take my medications every single day. When I don't take my medications, I definitely feel a little bit off and I have a harder time. I hit your like button. Thank you. So what would you say is my biggest challenge with parenting?
Patience.
Yeah.
Well, when you're dealing with what you're dealing with, right? And then to deal with a teenager and their drama, it becomes overwhelming for you.
Yeah, it does. And we have one preteen, two teenagers, and they're all turning 13, 15, and 16 in the next 3 months. August, September, and October, they all have birthdays. So we're going to have 3 teenagers in the house.
It's buffering.
It's buffering. Why is it buffering? Is that better?
No, buffering is when our internet is slow.
Glitching.
Yeah.
Is it because they're on the PS4?
No, you're on your own thing.
Okay.
So.
Sorry about that. I hope that's a little bit better. But yeah, my biggest challenge now is patience. I have very little patience for tolerance for selfishness. We try to work with our kids, and right now Matt's working with one of our kids very closely. I am a disciplinarian. I like to say that I'm a hammer versus a sledgehammer. I like to use the world as a reference, and the world is a sledgehammer. The world is not a friendly place. It's not a nice place. And so, Patricia, hey y'all, I'm so happy for Matt becoming a pastor. Thank you.
Thank
yeah.
You. Yeah.
And so with parenting, they are aware of my mental health issues. They're aware of my seizures. When I've had seizures, they're aware of my hearing voices, my delusions, my hallucinations. So we've never sugarcoated anything when it comes to the reality of mental illness, especially when it's depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, thinking of others. 2.7K, that is great. Your videos could be some help to many people, my friends. Thank you, David.
Yeah,
Um,
that's our goal.
that's our goal. When I created these videos regarding mental health and mental illness, I did it with this specific intentions in mind that somebody out there would be watching these videos and could learn from these videos just like I did. I watched YouTube videos with other people who were going through the same situations that I was, and I learned from their experiences.
Well, there's not a big voice on YouTube for especially your voice with the Christian aspect.
Right. There isn't a lot out there regarding schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder, and there's not a lot of information out there regarding mental illness within the church. So I knew that I had something a little bit different than most people. Um, and that's why, honestly, we don't sugarcoat things with our kids because we are 100% transparent people. We don't lie. We're very honest with each other and we're honest in our communications with our kids. I think that gives our kids a huge advantage when we talk about real world
Mm,
issues. Um, we talk about just today or yesterday we were talking about how the homeless population, a large portion of the homeless population have mental illness or mental health issues or behavioral health issues. And so with that comes with drug use for most of them because they're trying to self-medicate. They can't stay on their regular medication regimens. They're not seeing doctors at this time. So a lot of homeless people aren't getting the help they need, and so our kids are seeing that as well. We try to use real world circumstances as examples for our kids so that way they're in touch with the reality that's going on all around them. You want to add anything?
no, you're doing great.
Do you guys have any questions?
Comments, suggestions?
Yeah, any comments? um I don't cope very well though. Because I obsess and I fixate. Because I obsess and I fixate a lot, I struggle with um, when to let something go. I tend to bring up an issue more than once. I
Right.
like 3 or 4 or 5 times, and sometimes it's like beating a dead horse, and that's my own fault.
Yeah, it's true.
So, what?
Nothing. You look good.
Thank you. Yeah. Um, Anyways, this is just a quick video. If you guys have any more questions or comments, I know I'm forgetting something.
Well, oh, I know. Why don't you talk about what happened all those years ago when we didn't know what was going on with you, and dealing with that plus with the kids was really. I mean, how did you handle that? What did you do?
Well, before Matt came into the picture, I was actually a single mom. And so I lived in my own head a lot. I was dealing with the fact that I thought I had just an extremely overactive imagination. I didn't really credit it to being schizophrenic or bipolar yet. I didn't really know what those terms were at the time. Matt, you and your family are on my daily prayer list. Thank you.
Thank you. That's awesome. I love to that's really humbling to hear when someone is actively praying for you. There are times when I'm doing school, and it's just so difficult, and it's just school, you know, and then all of a sudden it gets easier, and it, you know, I'm like, I wonder if someone's praying for me in that moment, and so I always like to hear that. Thank you very much. Right, hun?
Yeah. Um, Back when I was a single mom, I was struggling with hearing the voices, and I used to see ghosts. And the reason why I'm putting it in parentheses is because um now I understand the hallucinations, but at the time I just thought my house was haunted, and I would watch like ghost hunters and things like that, and things that I would again, it was the obsessing, it was the fixating. And so when Lindsay and I were alone and together, I would put her in front of the TV with a movie on, and she would have a coloring book, and that would allow me to do my work on the side, because I worked for social services for 7 years in the child welfare program, and I was dealing with reading psychological evaluations. I was dealing with listening to all the stories of the kids that were coming into care, watching these kids interact with their abusive parents. And that was all triggering. That was triggering the PTSD, the emotional and physical abuse that I had had. And so it was all triggering for me. But again, at this time, I didn't really know what was going on with me. So parenting, the way I parented her was I would put on movies and I would just allow her to color or play Barbies or just something that would entertain her, so that I could take my mind off of her and focus on and redirect my energy and focus on working on the side. So I did like website design, graphic arts, business cards. Um, I would work for a guy here locally in town, and
In Bend.
in Bend where we used to live, and I did just these magazines that were local to the area. And so I distracted myself from the world by using that as an outlet for me to escape. And so I wasn't really parenting effectively. I wasn't out playing with Lindsay a lot. Like, most of the time, the parents would want to take their kids to the park all the time. I didn't take Lindsay to the parks all the time. I didn't get out with her and take her places or do things with her. So that's a failure on my part, but that was in the very, very beginning before we knew anything that was wrong with me.
Mm.
So now it's the exact opposite. It's like I don't do anything now. I come on and I do live videos. I'm gonna get my computer set up to where I can do edited videos again, but I was working so much, and honestly, that was to distract. Tara, I have to go to the store. I'm sorry. I love you guys. Bye, Patricia. Drive
See ya.
safe. Um, but yeah, so it was really a dark time, and so now I have this guy, and he helps me co-parent, because with us together, we're two heads are better than one. I like to say. Um, I I just need to let go of my fixating, I think. And I think I would be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Well, I'm not here to criticize your technique.
Well, I
You know.
know.
I think that you work well with the kids. I think you covered the big one, right? Where you beat the dead horse, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And you just kind of learn to let go, not overreact in the moment.
I do overreact.
In the moment.
And a part of that, I think, is my instant. I don't. I think that's the PTSD side of things. And that's where I just instantly react. And I don't give myself that moment to kind of assess the situation
Right.
and kind of look at what's going on.
So kind of impulsive.
Yeah, I'm impulsive. And
But also, I think it's partially because you think, oh, tomorrow they're out of the house and they're going to turn 18 somehow, like it's the end of the world almost. If we don't correct this right now, they're turning 18 tomorrow and they're out of the house right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
And well, because we only have a short time with them before they leave. And like Skylar, I might cry because we only have 3 years, and then or no, two.
No.
No, 2 years. He's turning 16
Oh.
in 2 months.
Oh, wow. I'm feeling old.
And you know, taking him out driving, putting him behind a wheel of a car, he's not exactly uh following instructions exactly the way you are teaching him. He's learning how to do things his own way, and he's trying to follow instructions the way you're teaching him, and he's trying to marry those worlds together. And I'm in the back seat just freaking out because he's not checking blind spots and he's braking really hard. And that's where I'm like, my obsessing and my fixating is going nuts.
Well, to be clear, right? He almost got us in 2 accidents.
Yes.
2.
So when you want to do, so then this is all happening, right? When I get, hey, Jules, hi, I'm new to your channel, really love it. Thank you. So like, I get this email for a request to do a parenting video on how I cope with mental illness and raising kids.
I don't.
And I don't. I'm like, I'm literally in the back seat of the car, like being thrown like this, and the blind spots, and then we have another incident with our other kid, and selfishness issues, and I'm just like, why?
So they're teenagers.
Why are you asking me about parenting when I don't think I parent my kids very well?
Hold on now. Remember what's the end result? The end result is that they become productive members of society.
Yes.
That they are not just Taco Bell people, and that's all they do in life. You know what I mean?
Just work for fast food.
No, I mean, like, they have the entry-level job, but they don't pursue their dreams and their goals. They have no dreams. They have no goals.
Right.
We want them to be leaders of women and men who are godly, who love Jesus, who love other people, and who have great work ethic.
Right.
Yeah.
And
they're a work in progress, just like all of us.
Yes. But we only have a short time before they leave our nest.
2 years and some odd months with Skylar, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, our oldest is almost out of the house. And my youngest likes to remind me, you're only going to be 38 when I move out of the house, Mom. Yeah, thank you.
You're 38.
And
so old, Mom.
So we are grooming them and trying to make them the best members of society that we can be. I think because they're aware of my mental illness, it allows them to have more of a humble background. They've
seen the dark side of all of this. They've seen both, well, Lindsay too, right?
Lindsay has anxiety. So
yeah.
I believe that her anxiety, I don't know, it bothers me that she has anxiety, because then I feel like I put that on her, even though I know I didn't give that to her. But I don't want her to grow up and have schizoaffective disorder like I have. So I'm constantly like worried about that, and I'm constantly checking on her, like asking her symptoms, watching her. Does she talk to herself? Is she, stomach aches? Like, I'm constantly making sure that she's not a hypochondriac, and different things that I did when I was a kid.
Right.
And like I saw ghosts as a kid, and now I recognize that that's a hallucination. She's never seen ghosts, so like that's really reassuring to me.
But
um
you can't live in a state of what if.
I know.
And uh, this my attitude is, if she has in the future some sort of mental illness, that we'll be able to do something about it.
Right.
We'll be able to see it. Let's say she's out of the house, she's 18, whatever. As long as she's in the or not in the house, but where we stay as a family and communicate, we'll be able to say, "Hey, honey, I think something's going on with you. You should check that out. You should go see a counselor. You should, whatever, right?"
Yeah.
That's the whole point of family, is that you stick together and you
Yeah.
help one another out. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I cope with parenting. um I do. I cope every day and I manage every day. I take my meds. Um Another thing about us, in case you haven't seen his shirt already,
It's backwards.
he is a pastor. He just got hired as the youth pastor in Rockaway Community Church. And I think you're saying it right.
Thank you.
Um so we keep our faith at the forefront of our family. Like it's Jesus, or it's God, Jesus, Matt, me, and then the kids. So there is a hierarchy, there is an order into our house. The kids are aware of this, and there is respect there, and that respect has been earned. They see how hard he works at school, and there's consequences for disobedience in our house. You know, we don't spank them; they're too old for that.
Well, we did at one point.
We did at one point when they were younger. It
Yeah.
says in the Bible, "Spare the rod, spoil the child." So we did do that at one point, but they're too old for that. And
I'd rather talk to them.
Yeah, so we're constantly talking to them and not at them.
Not
And
lecturing.
that's
Not
right.
endless lectures like your parents used to give you, No. It basically, our thinking is, mine,
Yeah.
my main approach is, don't be like me. The consequences of you lying
Mhm.
are going to jail, are, what else? Getting into all kinds of problems
Yeah.
and trouble, and you don't have any relationships, you can't hold a job down because you're always looking for the next greatest thing. So
Yeah. We're trying to constantly teach them, go after a goal or a dream. Don't just chase after the dollar, because that's going to, that's never going to feed your soul. That's never going to satisfy you.
right.
Always make sure that your center and your focus is on Jesus Christ and your faith, and that is going to get you to your next
Well, God's going to tell you where to go and
Yeah.
how to do those things. He's not going to audibly tell you,
right.
but he's going to guide you and direct you.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's all about keeping them humble, at the same time giving them goals
Instruction.
and instructions on, like, we constantly are talking about our future in our house. Like, what are you going to do when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? You can
Right.
be anything you want. For a while, like, we're just gonna be honest. Skylar is going into the Navy. He is dead set. That's
Yep.
what he wants to do.
Yep. I'm so
he's
proud.
he's gonna get his GI Bill paid for, so that way he can go straight into college. And he wants to study engineering at this point. And so he's got his head set on straight. He knows exactly what he wants to do. The younger one, not so sure, and that's okay. But we made him write out a list of 5 different jobs
5
that you could do
that you're
and
interested in.
that you're interested in. And one was like a lawyer. Then there was like 4 more. But basically, I'll go around town and I'll say, hey, like, You could do interior designing, or you could work in a morgue. Like, most people don't think of these jobs.
Right.
Working in a morgue, that's a job.
It's weird,
It's
but
a
it's a
weird
job.
job, but it's a job. Or we'll throw around the most oddball, like,
To get them thinking.
to get them thinking
Yeah,
that,
outside
hey,
the box.
it's not always about a 4-year degree at a college. There
Right.
are other things
Yeah.
that you can go for
Could
and
be-
achieve.
It could be a welder.
You can be a welder. Set your mind to something, have a goal, have a vision, and actually obtain that vision.
Right.
So,
There are too many, especially boys. All they do is they play the Xbox, the PlayStation, the computer, whatever, and that's all they aspire to do. That's their highest level of entertainment.
mhm.
And I say, screw that. You should pursue higher things. Anything, mountain biking, hiking, painting, sailing, swimming, anything. Just something other than sitting on your butt all day playing video games and then going to work, because I lived that life.
Mhm.
And so these boys, that's all they want to do, and they feel so depressed because they have no direction in life.
Mhm.
And I say, give them a purpose. God is that purpose.
Mhm.
God will give you a purpose, especially if you're like, I don't have a purpose in life. I'm bored. I'm not challenged in life. I need stimulation. I need a purpose in life, and God will give you a purpose.
Yeah.
All right. That's what happened with me.
Yeah. So yeah.
You're on a roll. I think I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. It was good. I'm
Oh,
glad
okay.
you did.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So it's just all about keeping our kids humble. So
Not prideful.
we don't communicate our finances to our kids, but we definitely make them aware that, shopping sprees are not something that we do in our house. We don't have the funds to take them out shopping all the time.
Restaurants.
They have a set wardrobe that they have. We don't go out to restaurants all the time. We're not always out going out to eat all the time. So we're trying to keep them humble and
appreciate what they have.
appreciate
Yeah.
the small things and what they have. When we celebrate holidays, we are very specific. We only celebrate Easter and Christmas. Christmas we celebrate it with
Thanksgiving.
well, okay, so we celebrate Thanksgiving, no gift giving there. But with Christmas, there's gift giving, and they bake Jesus a birthday cake, and they write letters, and they put them in a silver box and put them under the tree.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a tradition that we've always had.
Cut down a tree.
We probably won't be cutting down a tree this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really important, especially to me, to write Jesus a letter. It is his birthday. We address it to him. We put the letters all in a silver box and we keep it under the tree. We'll celebrate Easter, and for like Father's Day or Mother's Day, we'll just do something small, like maybe go out to dinner. But in all actuality, we don't really go overboard on holidays. We don't do a ton of gift giving. It might be like one present and that's it. We try to keep it
letters.
Yeah, we try to keep it the person focused instead of the materialistic aspect of the holiday. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
So like there's the commercialism aspect. I'm not a fan of it.
I would rather get a letter from the heart to Jesus or to me or to Tara than any gift, because then that way I can keep that letter and store it.
Yeah.
And then when they're 30, 40 years old, I'd be like, hey, you wrote me this.
Yeah. Yeah. So, being schizophrenic and co-parent and parenting is a little weird. the other day I've been hearing voices, which is not unusual. I hear voices all the time when I'm on my meds and when I'm not on my meds. Butterfly Shay, hey, I'm new to your channel. Hi, welcome. Um, when I was sleeping, I actually heard my son talking to me and asking about taking out the garbage or something. And we had had a whole conversation about taking out the garbage, and then I woke up and he wasn't even there. So that's a little weird, and it's a little new because I'm also hearing my husband's voice. So hearing voices, it it makes things really chaotic for me because sometimes the kids will have their video games playing and then they'll be talking at the same time while I'll have my the voices and stuff going on in my head, and I might have a YouTube video on or something. So it gets really chaotic parenting when I have the all the noise. But as far as that, I've been trying to manage that really well, just with the medication and trying to decipher reality from what isn't, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And bipolar, so I don't really have any more like manic episodes. I don't really go through
Thank goodness.
The tantrums anymore. I'm so glad you're having your live stream. Everything sounds so good. I think you're good parents. Thank you.
Thank you.
Was it hard for your children to learn about your mental illness? I think at first
Yeah,
it was really difficult because they didn't really understand what schizoaffective disorder
Right.
was.
Yep.
And then having to break down schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. So, yes, at first I think it was very challenging for them to accept what I was going through. But after they learned what I was going through, they're fine with it now. Hey, David, how's it going?
Hello.
Yeah. And so
I know Lindsay cried a couple of times when she found out that, with the anxiety, so she was worried, and I would tell her, hey, everything's all right, everything's cool, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
So
really good. Good, David.
Good to hear.
We're talking about the kids. This was a subject that I was emailed about, and now I'm sharing it with everybody.
Did you miss a comment?
No, I'm just checking.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I think it was hard because when I was not originally taking the medications, I was acting out. Like, Matt and I, we used to fight a lot when we were first married. And I think a lot of it was the fact that I was not medicated. Him and I, you know how couples argue, like couples will argue and stuff. Him and I would have like 16-hour-long conversations.
No, they weren't that long.
Yes, they were. They were like 12 hours. Like they were they were all day long.
Yeah.
Like from sunup until sundown. Him and I would be on the same topic for that long.
I'm very stubborn.
Because he's stubborn and I obsess and I fixate.
I was different too. I wasn't, my heart wasn't as soft. I was very hard-hearted too.
Yeah. Shay, I hope that one day my children will be able to understand and learn to empathize with my mental disorder as well.
Oh, they will.
They will. Can I ask what is your mental illness? If you include them
in the process.
That's how we did it with our kids. And our kids aren't young. They're so
well, when you started this process,
when I started this process, they were younger. Schizophrenia and PTSD. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. When we started this process, they were younger, but they're now, oh goodness, August, September, and October. So we've got 15.
Almost, yeah, almost a.
No, he's gonna be 14.
Oh, yeah.
And then she's going to be 13, no, 12. And he's going to be 16.
Yeah.
So 12, 14, and 16.
Yep. Yep.
Gosh.
But yeah, but if you don't sugarcoat like you said earlier
Right.
that she wasn't here.
Oh yeah. What happened was is I basically said that we never sugarcoated anything. We kept it very real to what I was going through. They saw me go through seizures. I have a David, you will be an amazing pastor.
Awesome.
Oh, awesome. Sorry.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I have scars here from
Yeah.
when I fell and hit my face. This one's a different scar.
It's from
No,
doing that.
no. This one's different.
Oh.
This is one that I
Yeah.
got when I was 2 years old.
And they thought I was hitting you.
Yeah, so going to the hospital was fun because they assumed that Matt was beating me. I would tell them I fell and I hit my head when I had a
Yeah,
seizure,
like
and
literally
they would
fell.
literally look at him like, you know, they would give him the evil eye. But
Yeah. Anyway.
yeah. So.
But about her question, right? Statement where she's saying, "I hope that they'll." How old are your if you're still here? How old are your kids, if I might ask? Because it also depends on their age. If they're like in their 30s, then empathy comes a little harder than for a child, for example. But if they're younger, then you can still kind of teach them and guide them and bring them up to empathize with you or for you. So.
And I was gonna say something and then I forgot.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. This guy right here, though, he has been an amazing support because he kind of will tell me, you shouldn't talk that harshly to the kids, or you should redirect your question and phrase it this way next time you talk to the kids, or like he's constantly keeping me in check when I talk to the kids.
And you do the same thing with me too.
Yeah, that's true.
And with our marriage too.
That's true.
Right? Like I was a little harsh with you today, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, "Hey, don't talk to me like that." Oh, yeah, you're right. So we need people like that
Checks
in our
and
lives.
balances.
Checks and balances, yeah, because we're naturally sinful and selfish by our very nature,
Yeah.
right? And so Jesus keeps me in check, but so do you,
Yeah.
right? And same with the kids. The kids keep me in check. Lindsay will say, "Dad, you shouldn't say that," or "You shouldn't, fill in the blank." And it's like, "Oh, yep, you're right." And so, not that the kids boss us around or anything like that, but we all keep ourselves accountable, and they understand that we're the parents, we're not your friends.
Yeah.
We're here to help you to be successful, and we will do whatever it takes within legal reason, of course, to make you successful, to give you the skills. And I think that's what separates us from other parents. We don't have a lazy approach to raising our kids. I fight to be lazy. My natural tendency is to be lazy, is to not deal with whatever the kids are going through. But I think it's imperative that we kind of get out of that.
You guys are such great parents. You both keep me inspired.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
it's hard work.
It's hard work.
But it's worth it. Oh.
And to be honest, our kids make us look good. Do you know just how wonderful it is that God put you both together to love and to grow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're a pretty good couple. I mean, we like to think so. I can't be me without him.
Well,
so.
tell him about the personality test.
Oh yeah. So when we first got married, we had to take a personality test and separately.
Yep.
For marriage counseling, and they thought the counselors thought that we cheated because we got perfect scores together. Yeah. And so we were a perfect match, and the counselors thought that we cheated, and we didn't.
Remember, they're like, "In 20 years of doing this, I've never seen this. Did you guys cheat?"
Yeah, no, we didn't cheat.
Why would I cheat on a personality? Hey, what'd you get on number 4?
Right. So we matched on our personalities 100%. So we are 100% compatible which was pretty cool.
Well, it's because of how, I mean, honey, it's literally God gave me you.
I know.
Remember that song?
That's awesome, LOL.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, so how we met is his first time back into a church in like 3 years. He
More than
walks
that.
he walks into the doors of the church, and I see him from across the room, and I look at the lady I'm talking to. I'm like, I need to go meet him. And so I walked up and we shook hands, and it was like this electric fire jolt of energy just went straight through our bodies. It wasn't like static on the carpet. It wasn't anything like that. It was like getting hit by lightning.
Well, it didn't hurt either.
No. It was like this surge of energy the moment we shook hands. It was this craziest experience. So
I forgot. I don't know why I forgot that part.
Yeah, we don't tell very many people that, but
it's true.
So, did you find out about your mental illness before or after you met? After we met.
Yeah, it was a month or two after we got married. You crashed.
I completely crashed, and then it was
so,
2 years after that we finally.
Yeah.
I've been a friend of your channel for some time now. I remember you, Matt, sitting and studying. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the other house.
Well,
yeah.
I'm still studying, but I'm kind of slacking off right now, just being honest. I would rather be here. I would rather do ministry. I would rather talk to anyone, do anything other than school. And so, yes, you're right. You see a lot of I was looking at it, and you can see a lot of thumbnails of me sitting at my chair.
Yeah. We moved to a house in Hillsboro, Oregon, and he just got the job as a pastor in Rockaway Beach Community Church. So now we're relocating to the Rockaway area, hopefully. I'm freaking out, but I have to get a job. I have to figure out how I'm going to get a job to support this move. So
well you're not just supporting.
I know.
We're gonna have help too.
I know. We gotta figure it out.
You just pray. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the first line of defense. We pray.
Yes.
Ask for grace. I guess we need it.
Lots of grace. So.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
We just do the best that we can. Basically, is the moral of the story. We do the best we can with what God has given us, and we make mistakes. I actually, there's only been a handful of times when, well, 2 handfuls probably, where I actually will apologize to the children. Like I think I offended Vincent. I publicly embarrassed him once. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And so after that, I pulled him aside. Privately, and I said, you know what, Vincent, I am so sorry for what I did. That'll never happen again, ever. I'll never embarrass you in front of your friends ever again, not like that, or ever. And so then our connection grows stronger, and his respect goes up, hopefully, and his trust in me goes up too. So. Yep, exactly. He says he's a sinner saved by grace.
Yep. We all are.
Yep, same. Yep.
That's good.
So true. I see you have 2 likes.
Yeah.
That's cool how you can see that.
Yeah. Well, we're actually doing family movie night tonight, so I appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out, asking all the questions, and for the person that submitted this question to my email, I just hope that I answered all of your questions. And if you have any more questions for me, make sure to put that in the comments below, or for him.
Or email.
My email is terrorized@gmail.com. Normally I have a notebook somewhere.
You can put it in the description box.
I'll put my email in the description box. So if you have any other questions, you can email me there or leave it in the comments below.
Oh, and if you want it to remain confidential, you know what I mean? Like if you want to redact names or places or whatever,
just email me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it's really important.
Yeah.
So
thank you guys. I appreciate you. I love you guys. I will see you in my next video. So God bless. Stay safe. See you later.